Yeah, I got one. Okay, Brian, we're ready. Thank you, Brian. Go ahead and call this meeting to order of the Homewood City Council for March 31st, 2025. Welcome, everyone. I'd like to just announce quickly, unfortunately, Senator Smitherman will not be able to join us tonight, but he will be back on the 14th of April, so we look forward to welcoming him during that meeting. So we do not have any announcements before we go ahead with the invocation, which I'm going to ask Councilor Andrus to provide the invocation. Stand if you're able. We'll follow by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please bow your heads and pray with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all of the blessings that you have bestowed upon our city, Homewood. Thank you for the many people who serve and work for our city and our community at large, and for all those who are gathered here tonight. And thank you for their safe travel, and bless them as they leave here tonight to continue on. We lift up our community into your loving hands, praying for its well-being and its prosperity. Guide us tonight, Lord. Give us wisdom to listen with open ears and open hearts, and to speak with love and kindness. Help us to work together to continue building a community where all are valued, respected, and cared for. Lord, I ask for your blessing upon our efforts to serve others, and it is in your holy name that we pray. Amen.
We'll face the flag. Attention, salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Councilor Andrus. Mr. Seegers, if you'll call roll, please.
Yes, sir. Councilor Gwaltney.
Here.
Gear.
Here.
Alamon. Here. Wolverton.
Present.
Sims.
Here.
Brandt.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Nelms.
Here.
Andrus.
Here.
Harden.
Here.
President Jones.
Here.
Full house, sir.
Got a full house tonight. Thank you. Thank you for that. We have the reading of the minutes from the council meeting of March 10th. Do we have a motion to approve those as distributed and dispense with the reading?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we got Councilor Smith made the motion. Councilor Wolverton seconded that. Any questions, comments, any changes? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's 11-0, that passes. Okay, board vacancies. We have several, and appreciate everyone's work to try to find different applicants for these. The first one that we have is the Ward 4 Abatement Board. That closed today at 4:30. And Mr. Seegers, we didn't have any applicants, did we?
No, sir.
Okay, so without objection, we will extend that out to the 14th of April. And if
Hey,
if we,
can we move it to the last meeting in
The 28th?
April? Yeah, could we do that?
sure,
Okay.
we can move it to the
And
28th.
we will work on.
Just trying to put a little pressure. No, I'm just teasing. That's fine. Well, without objection, the 28th of April. We'll carry that to then, and it'll be 4:30 will be the time, the deadline for that. You have on your agenda Ward 3 Library Board opening. That doesn't expire till next month, so we really don't need to set that until next month. So keep in mind, any, I think the Ward 3 person, I'm not sure if they're going to reapply, but, be thinking about that for next month. Okay, then we have two Arts Council openings. We have Ward 1 Arts Council opening, and Ms. Gear has recommended the Ward 1, we have the deadline for that, the 14th of April at 4:30. And then the two at-large Arts Council openings have that deadline for the 28th of April. So without objection, we will have those two deadlines. Both of those are at 4:30 p.m.
And Walter, just to clarify, Ward 1 and 2 at large, so 3 total spots.
3 total.
Mhm.
That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
So We need lots of applications here. I will remind you, Wards 2 and 3 Beautification Board, those openings are closing on the 14th, also 14th of April at 4:30. So we
And-
have lots of openings.
Ward 5 Board of Education also closing on April 14th at 4:30.
That's right, that's right. Ward 5, that's the only other one I have. Are there any other board vacancies that I was not aware of? I think we have enough. And I've asked Mr. Segrist to send out a listing of all of the boards and the members and kind of, so you'll have that. And as we think about the changing government in the future, you know, maybe looking at consolidation of boards, you know, we're not sure what that's gonna look like with the 4 wards rather than the 5, so we really need to think about that. So we're looking to add that to the agenda next time to kind of look at how we wanna structure the boards. That's gonna take a lot of work from Mr. Kendrick to guide us, because these boards have been formed over the years, you know, since we were a city. So it's gonna take some work, but I think that's something we're gonna be looking at. Any
And-
questions?
I will say, for the most part, the listings on the website should be pretty close to correct, with the exclusion of some of these that are just being filled now. Because Brian and I worked on that, so most of the ones on the website are pretty accurate.
Okay.
So that's a good place to start from.
Okay, good. So we'll confirm all of that, make sure that what we have on the website is exactly right, that we're not missing anything. Okay. Moving on to additions to the agenda. The only addition that we have, need to add this under other new business, is 2503.25, request for consideration of emergency contract with Video Industrial for sinkhole on Valley Avenue, coming to us from Cale Smith. So if you can add that to other, at the end, it's really at the end of the agenda, other new business. Any other changes anybody sees? Do I have a motion to approve the amended agenda?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Gwaltney made that motion, and Counselor Gear seconded that. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 11-0. Okay, and before we get into the agenda, I'll just mention one thing that we have, there's only one item on the agenda that we have a public hearing for, and that is 020325. So that, just want to make that, you know, sometimes there are questions that come up, and that the only public hearing we have is that one item. So I just wanted to announce that. Okay, looking at the consent agenda, we just have one item on the consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the current consent agenda?
So second.
Okay, that was Counselor Nelms, and Counselor Smith seconded that. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes 11-0. Okay, starting off with old business. There's the public hearing. It was set for tonight at 6 p.m. for consideration of the resolution fixing the costs which it finds were reasonably incurred in the demolition of the structures at 1509 Beckham Drive, and assessing the same against the property, coming to us from Wyatt Pugh. And we have a motion from Finance.
Yes.
Counselor Smith.
Yes, we met last week, or I guess that was 2 weeks ago, and voted 5-0 to refer this out to the full council without a recommendation pending the public hearing tonight. Motion was made by Mr. Brandt and seconded by Mr. Harden.
Thank you for that report. Want to go ahead and open the public hearing. And we, if you want to go ahead and provide some background, and then we'll let people, if they have any questions.
Yes, sir. I'm here if you have any questions, basically, but this is in regards to the money that was spent on the demolition of 1509 Beckham Drive, totaling $20,833.
Great.
I'm sorry, $20,833.
And that will be placed as a lien against the property.
That's correct.
Perfect. Okay, are there any comments from the public? Okay, hearing and seeing none, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Do we have any comments from the council? Any questions from the council?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, moved by Counselor Smith, seconded by Counselor Allen. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0, and that is Resolution 2538. Okay, 060225, request for consideration of an unsolicited proposal regarding the old police headquarters. Coming to us from the mayor. A report from finance, please. Counselor Smith.
Yes, the committee met 2 weeks ago and voted 3 to 1 to 1, so 3 in favor, 1 against, and 1 abstained, to recommend approving this action. The motion was made by Counselor Gwaltney and seconded by Counselor Brandt. Counselor Allen voted no, and Harden abstained.
Thank you, Counselor Smith. Any questions to the Finance Committee, or any questions in general? Okay. We have
I will make a quick comment, if you don't mind, Mr. President. I just want to thank our friends from the Homewood Green Space Initiative. It was one of our early, in my first term, meetings that we had when they came and gave a presentation. This place was filled up in standing room only. And it's really amazing to see. Things take a long time, projects take a long time, capital projects take a long time, but it's amazing to see that we are here now. I did want to address that Cale has a great design that he is in the process of having those designs being done now to offset the parking that we're going to lose in this, if this is approved tonight. And I believe the number's about the same. And so we're moving forward with finding other parking spaces downtown. And then I would be remiss if I did not mention the parking deck below us that is always, always, always available. The idea behind that parking deck is to have employees, people who are working here all day long, to park there because there's no time limit on there. And that way, the spaces above are flowing for folks who are coming in to have lunch or to shop or what have you. So I just wanted to make a few of those points.
Thank you for
I
that.
want to make a point that in doing what I do for a living, I do run into problems of conflicts that I'm always overly cautious, but I did go check with the powers to be, and I do not have a conflict.
Okay, thank you.
I had a
All right.
quick question.
Yes, sure.
Just making sure that as we're considering the item before us, I'm just trying to get clarification on what we're actually voting for today. In terms of the proposal, and then is there going to be a later design? Because I know that when we approve other plans, will that come before us at a later time?
Yeah.
That we'll have to approve? Just want to get a sense of what the process and next steps are,
Yeah.
so that we understand exactly what we're voting for today. And this isn't necessarily the last time we'll hear from
Yeah.
Mr. Moran and the
You wanna
developers.
address
And
that, Mayor?
I would just love a sense of timeline.
Yeah, so what we're talking about today is really entering into or authorizing me to enter into an agreement for the city, between the city and Mr. Moran's group. The design would still come back to, we would still have to go through all the processes that it would need to go through. There may need to be a rezone as well that it would have to go through that would come back, and a subdivision of the property so that the city maintained the park portion of the property, and the restaurant portion of the property would be commercial. So it's still got to go through all those processes. It's still got to come back to us a few times or to the planning commission a few times in order to actually be approved in terms of what the final product looks like. What we've got now is an idea of what the project would look like and an idea of what the finances would be for that project, and that's all we're really doing tonight. Sure.
Okay, any other questions?
I have just some comments.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
So I really appreciated the proposal from the point of view that it gave us an opportunity to discuss this property for the first time. It's been sitting, there for 5 years, almost 5 years that we've been on council, and I think it's very important strategically to our city. It's the last piece of property we own in the middle of town, and I was very happy with the green space, and I think the proposal in general is not it looks like a fine proposal. But I think we learned a lot. We learned that the zoning is institutional, and we had discussions that if we didn't go forward with this plan and this proposal, that we might be in for a more dense high-rise, and I guess we have every ability to control the zoning moving forward, and I thought that was a good thing to learn through the process. So I want Mr. Moran to know that I appreciate his time and effort putting forth the proposal. I think it's a fine proposal, one that should be considered, but I would prefer that we put off making a decision until we more strategically as a city look at the land and decide if there are other things that we need downtown, just more strategic considerations before we redevelop, because I think we have one shot at this. And, I'm all for the green space. I was very much a part of that discussion and supportive of that group. I'd just like to see I'd like for us to have further strategic discussions about what is going on downtown in terms of the businesses, the parking, and anything else we need to consider before we decide on the redevelopment. So that's how I feel, and I appreciate everyone's time and consideration.
Okay, thank you. So we have the recommendation from Finance. Are there any other questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
No. Okay, so that is, and any abstentions? No abstentions. So 9-2, that passes. And that's Resolution 25-39. Is that right? Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on. 010325, request to authorize the city manager to sign a contract with Gonzalez Strength and Associates for surveying services, coming to us from Kel Smith. And before he goes, I just want to acknowledge Mr. Underwood, who served, I served with Mr. Underwood for 8 years. I believe it was 8 years, so it's good to see you in the crowd tonight. I guess he's already run off. Yes, he did. Okay, no problem. He ignored me when he was president. All right, we'll wait just a second. Okay, so for this item, 010325, we have a report from Finance. Counselor Smith?
The committee met 2 weeks ago, voted 5-0 to recommend approving the signing of the contract. Motion was made by Mr. Brandt and seconded by Mr. Waltney.
Perfect, thank you for that. Are there any questions, comments on this? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That passes 11-0. Resolution 2540. 030325, request to contract Quality Architectural Metal and Roofing to make repairs to City Hall roof, coming to us from Wyatt Pugh. And we even have a trash can in the middle.
Yes, I was about to say,
of-
example number one.
We have right here an example of why we need to pass this. We have a report from Finance, please.
Yes, the committee voted 5-0 to recommend approving it, which clearly needs to happen. Motion was made by Mr. Waltney and seconded by Mr. Harden.
So
Thank-
is the roof beyond its warranty?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I
Yep.
need.
All right,
Yes.
any
Thank
other,
you.
any
Yes.
other questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? That passes 11-0. Resolution 25-41. 040325, request permission to authorize the city manager to sign a contract for design services with EDT Incorporated, coming to us from Kel Smith. Report from Finance, Counselor Smith.
Yes, committee voted 5-0 to recommend approving this item as well. Motion was made by Mr. Brandt, seconded by Mr. Waltney.
Any questions from the report?
Kel, remind us what EDT stands for? You don't have to, just.
Engineering Design Technology.
Thank you.
Yeah, there we go. Okay. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0. Resolution 25-42. 050325, request permission for mayor to sign an amendment to an agreement with Kimley Horn on the US 21 A-Trip project, coming to us from Kel Smith. Report from Finance, Counselor Smith.
Yes, Mr. Smith gave us a report on this, and the committee voted 4-0 to recommend approving it. Mr. Alamon had left the meeting at this point, so it was a 4-0 vote. Motion made by Mr. Harden and seconded by Mr. Gwaltney.
Thank you for that report. Any questions, comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0. That's Resolution 25-43. 060325, request to consider an ordinance to prevent parking at the Salter Pocket Park for non-park visitors, coming to us from Councilor Nelms. If we can have a report from Public Safety, Mr. Gwaltney.
Yes, sir, Mr. President. The committee met 2 weeks ago and voted 5-0 to recommend approval. The motion was made by Councilor Harden and seconded by Councilor Nelms.
Thank you for that report, Mr. Gwaltney. Mr. Kendrick, if we can have the first reading.
Can I ask a question about that?
I'm sorry.
Parking, I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question? Or do you want to do the first reading?
Yeah,
first?
we will, let's do the first
Okay,
reading, and then
great.
we'll get to comments after that.
An ordinance to further regulate parking at the Salter Road Pocket Park in the city and provide for penalties therefore. Whereas the city has previously leased property of Sanford University to be used as a pocket park. Whereas the city has constructed a pocket park on the Sanford property on Salter Road, the pocket park, which is used by the public solely for recreation purposes only. Whereas the city has received complaints that members of the general public are parking at the pocket park for purposes other than participating in activities at the pocket park. And whereas the city desires to limit the use of very limited parking facilities located at the pocket park for members of the general public that are participating in only activities at the pocket park. Now therefore be it ordained as follows. It should be unlawful for any person, firm, or corporation to park their vehicle as defined by the highway code at the pocket park located on Salter Road for any purpose other than using the facilities at the pocket park. Section 2, be unlawful for any person to park a vehicle at the pocket park or leave unattended any motor vehicle by any person not present and presently using the pocket park facilities. Section 3, unlawful for any person to park at the pocket park for any purpose other than for exclusive use of the pocket park facilities. Be unlawful for any person, firm, or corporation to park a vehicle for a period longer than 1 hour while using facilities at the pocket park. Section 5, a violation of this ordinance shall be punished as provided by Section 1-8 of the Code of Ordinances. Section 6, the chief of police or his designee shall install signs or parking limitations as approved in Section 1, 2, 3 above. Section 7, any part of provision of the ordinance declared to be unconstitutional. All other parts not otherwise provided shall remain in full force and effect, and the provisions of the ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption by the city council.
Thank you, Mr. Kendrick. Okay, so now if there are questions from the council, let's.
Yeah, the only thought I had was, do we have to go, is the police gonna pay for those signs? I mean, there will be an expense of putting the signs up. Where's that money
I
come from?
think Randy can do the signs in-house.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We're not
Randy
having to
can do
buy
it and
signs.
install them.
Okay, great.
Okay. So in order for us to address this tonight, do we have a motion for unanimous consent? Okay, that was moved by Counselor Sims and seconded by Counselor Wolverton. Or no, sorry, Counselor Allen, sorry about that. If you'll call roll, please, Mr. Segris, for unanimous consent.
Yes, sir. Counselor Gwaltney.
Yes, sir.
Gear.
Yes.
Allamon.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Sims.
Yes.
Brandt. Yes. Smith.
Yes.
Nelms.
Yes.
Andrus.
Yes.
Harden.
Yes.
President Jones.
Yes. Okay, so we already have the recommendation 5-0 from Public Safety. If you'll call roll, please, on the motion.
Yes, sir. Counselor Gwaltney.
Yes, sir.
Gear.
Yes.
Allamon.
Yes.
Wolverton.
Yes.
Sims.
Yes.
Brandt.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Nelms.
Yes.
Andrus.
Yes.
Harden.
Yes.
President Jones.
Yes, and that passes 11-0, and that's ordinance number 2929. Thank you for that. 070325, request to repeal the sign ordinance and repeal and replace the zoning ordinance. Let's see, we have a report from Planning and Development, and that is coming from Ms. Andrews.
We do. The committee voted 5-0 to refer to the full council with revisions to the proposed ordinance to change stacking spaces per drive-through window from 5 spaces to 4 spaces, and to change temporary signs to 4x4 with a height of 6 feet. The motion was made by Counselor Andy Gwaltney and seconded by Counselor Andrew Wolverton.
Okay, thank you for that. And I believe, so the only action that we need tonight is to set the public hearing. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay, so is there a motion to set the public hearing for April 28th, 2025 at 6 PM?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I believe that was Counselor Andrus, and then I heard Counselor Sims over here. Any questions on that? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0 to set that public hearing. All right. You can review the committee referral agenda. We have several items on that. Is there a motion to approve the
So
committee
moved.
referral? Second. Okay. Who was that made the motion?
Me.
Okay, Counselor
Julie.
Smith and then Counselor Nelms. Thank you all for working with me here. Any other questions on that? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's 11-0. Okay. All right, now we go into other new business. First item, 180325, request to set a public hearing for consideration of an amended development plan for 579, 598, and 701 Brookwood Village to permit proposed renovation, conversion of former Belton Department Store building into a medical office building, would house the Andrews Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Center. Coming to us from Cale Smith. Here, we have, let's see, we need to, without objection, set the public hearing again for April 28th. Do we need to vote on that, Mr.
No,
Kendall?
sir. Unless there's objection.
Okay, without objection, we're setting that public hearing for April 28th at 6 PM. Okay, 19,
President Jones, I have one question about.
Sure.
170325, above that, de-annexation of 310 Happy Lane or annexation?
De-annexation.
So, okay, from out of Homewood into something else? Okay, so that,
Yeah, there was an email, the owner
okay,
had
that's,
annexed it years ago and
Okay.
is requesting.
okay, thank you.
yeah, that's right.
And President Jones,
Yes.
and possibly Counselor Andrus knows the answer to this, but a lot of times when we have these public hearings, we set in advance of committee. In regards to 180325, I just wondered if the applicant plans to present at the upcoming committee meeting, or if we have confirmed with them.
We have not. We have.
We have.
He intends to be here next Monday.
Monday.
Fantastic, thank
So
you. I
when
just,
you tell them to.
Okay, that's right.
I would
That's
Tell
right.
him, I said.
So I would strongly prefer
this
that they're
for?
here on the 7th.
7th?
Since we're setting the public hearing for the 28th, versus not getting it until the week before. Thank you.
Good question, though. So, that's right, Ms. Andrews, you tell them when you want to be, when you want them to be there.
Not
They
a
will
minute
be.
later.
You tell Senator Smitherman he's
Yeah,
here on the
he's gonna wait
14th.
till the 14th.
All right, as long as we have that straight. Okay, 19, I believe we're on 190325, request to approve executive assistant position, coming to us from Mr. Adams. I believe that there was some information sent out on that for the resolution. If there, Mr. Adams is happy to go over that, or if there are any questions. Would y'all like a quick overview of what that position is?
Sure.
Go ahead.
So, the unique thing of the Jefferson County Board, the Personnel Board, is that they have different qualification levels. And so it's an executive assistant, but they need to be an analyst to be able to do the things we're looking at. And being able to coordinate with all the directors is one part. Like, for example, when we're in the budget cycle, they need to be able to be smart enough to see issues as they're maneuvering this stuff and they work me and or JJ or the mayor onto those type of issues. And they have to have the analytical ability, as you look at the things that are coming across this, I printed out the level of stuff that came across, to be able to go through this also and assist in providing feedback and making sure that we are doing the right things. You all are 12 strong, and the intent will be that we go down to 5 people strong, and none of that stuff that you all are catching on a regular basis are missed. So that's where this person is coming on with a second set of eyes and look at these things and do the analytics on. So that's really part of it. It's more than just the day-to-day balancing the calendar and stuff like that between JJ, the mayor, and I to make sure that everything's covered down on. It is really an intellectual capacity in that person.
Thank you for that, Mr. Adams. It's a grade 21 class 02083, and there was information on where that is in the personnel board. Okay, any questions?
And this will be creating the position
That's right,
and opening it up.
that's right. Is that true?
I would make a motion to approve.
Second. Okay, that was Counselor Smith, and Counselor Allemond seconded that. Any other questions?
Is the money, where are we pulling the money from?
General fund,
Okay.
Coming from the general fund.
because it's not programmed in the budget, it has to come from the general fund.
That's right. All right, any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0. There's 15 paid, so that's just the first and the last page. Okay, that passes. That's resolution 25, is that 44? Is that right? 25-44. Okay, next item, 200325, request to approve the city manager to sign contract with Carr, Riggs, and Ingram. Coming to us from Mr. Adams as well. That was sent out. And Mr. Kendrick distributed that. And are there any questions or?
Yeah, I guess I'm the guy with all the questions tonight. So we have them now working for us. They've been working for us since last fall, I think. And we're just continuing that same contract. Is that the idea?
No.
It's a separate.
This was well over a year, and this is writing a little bit different contract, same concepts of work. If I can clarify the actual work that we're trying to do is it's a multi-part where not only are we trying to catch up to everything that we need to be doing on a monthly basis, it is to be able to also set the processes in place so that as we consolidate all of the accounts down to just a few accounts instead of the number we have, to be able to manage that in a routine basis that we have the clarity we should be having at the end of each month. And in creating that workload, so they're gonna recommend a workload so that we manage that workload by people that are dedicated to that type of workload. So they're gonna come back with a recommendation of staffing and what those staffing skill sets are required. So it's a multi-part thing, and the final part of that is to assist us in the first step in creating a budget with the directors.
Correct. All right, any other questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
Okay, Counselor Harden made that motion, Counselor Nelms seconded that. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye. Any
opposed? That passes 11-0. That's resolution 25-45. 210325, request for consideration for an ABC 020 restaurant retail liquor license for the Simapaka Incorporated. That's 1017 Oxmoor Road, coming to us from Bo Sechrist. Mr. Sechrist, we have letters of no objection from police and fire.
Yes, sir.
Correct, okay. So that has all been taken care of. Do we have a motion as to having no objection to the issuance of the license?
So moved.
Okay, moved by Counselor Smith, seconded by Counselor Alomon. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0. 220325, request for consideration of approval of vouchers for period March 11th to March 31st. Coming to us from Mr. Bischoff, and I believe Counselor Smith that this is Counselor Hart.
My
It's your final.
last and final, I sat and cried on Saturday, it was so sad for me. But I did get a chance to go through everything. I had a couple of questions, and the other person that works on Saturday is J.J. Bischoff. So we talk a lot on Saturdays, but I got all my questions answered.
Okay, great.
So I make a motion to approve the vouchers for the period of March 11th, 2025 through March 31st, 2025.
Okay, moved by Counselor Harden, seconded by Counselor Smith. Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0, Resolution 25-46. And our last item that we added, 250325, request for consideration of an emergency contract for video industrial for Sinkhole on Valley Avenue, coming to us from Cale Smith. If you could provide us a little bit of information on that.
Thank you, Mr. President. The greatest enemy to a city engineer is corrugated metal pipe, and we've got a lot of it. So at the intersection of Robert Jemison and West Valley, a sinkhole opened up next to the express oil change, and that's what it looks like today. But when Video Industrial walked the pipe, it's a 54-inch pipe, and it's about 10 feet deep, so it's really deep. They saw a bunch of other holes and problems with the pipe, and Robert Jemison is in risk of collapsing. So we need to declare this an emergency, which we can do and not have to bid the project. The prices that they provided were based on their unit prices that they gave us on our on-call service contract that we had with them for about a year, in 23 and 24. That contract has expired, so we're going through this process now.
Okay.
The total is $121,590, and it will be paid from the GOW Fund 26.
So this is for pipelining, to correct the issue, to line the pipe, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
It's a trenchless repair, so they don't have to excavate and shut the roads down. They just go in one manhole and out the other with a.
Gotcha.
And they're literally putting a new pipe inside that pipe, I guess, is that
It's a liner.
They'll spray a cementitious liner in the pipe. The pipe is big enough where a person will be able to walk through the pipe and spray.
That's a nice job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're taking applications, John.
This is, it's the same thing we did at Central Park on Park Ridge.
That's right,
Pipes.
exact same thing.
So were we able to use our very expensive video truck at some point in this process to save some money?
We use the video truck about every day.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad to
We
hear
use
that.
it a lot, yep.
I would make a motion to approve. I was just driving on Robert Jemison today, and I had no idea, so
Yeah.
glad my car didn't fall through the
Second.
road.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay, there's been
Motion
a
to
motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, second by Mr. Gwaltney. All right, any other questions for Mr. Smith? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes 11-0. That's Resolution 25-47. Next, we have comments from the mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I want to belatedly welcome Mr. Adams. I called him to let him know that he was the selection and then promptly left the country for a couple weeks. So, so I apologize. If it weren't my daughter's wedding, I wouldn't have gone, would have stayed. But anyway, thank you. We are glad to have you. everyone has been very happy that you're here, and we appreciate all the work that you're already doing for us. And speaking of Mr. Adams, there is a Meet the City Manager on Friday, April 4th, from 8:30 to 9:30 at City Hall. Is it going to be in here? Or is it going to be in the committee room?
Yeah, it's in the committee room.
Okay. So,
I thought it was over in there.
well, at any rate, if you show up, you'll find them.
Just wander around the second
Yeah,
floor.
you'll find them somewhere up here on the second floor. So anyone that's interested, come on up and meet our new city manager. Also, this Saturday is the Library Foundation Block Party. That is from 5 to 7:30. That is always a good time, so please consider showing up for that. We also have the Chambers Downtown Hop and Shop coming up on Saturday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And an Easter egg hunt at Patriot Park that same day, April 12th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then lastly, I'm betting Ms. Gear's going to speak to this, so I'm not going to steal your thunder about the Yacht Rock Spectacular. I'm going to let you talk about it because I think you know more about it than me. So I'll let that one wait for you. But thank you all.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, closing comments, Counselor Gwaltney.
Yeah, let me double check. Pardon me for being behind.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see.
I do not need to, nope, I have one item. I'll set Public Safety Committee immediately following Finance for next Monday. The only comment I would make is not a fun comment, but as I see agenda items related to hiring and headcount, and knowing that we have agendas or projects in mind like centralized purchasing, I just want us to be mindful of ratios of the city budget to labor, and being mindful of allocation of resources to various departments. I don't want us to see an explosion of labor in the city, or I'm saying explosion, that's dramatization. I don't want to see a lot of increase in labor because I feel like our ratio is a little bit higher than our peers, and I feel like it's something that we need to be mindful of going forward, especially as we get closer to budgeting, because typically we see some of those requests as well. So that's my only comment.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Mr. Gwaltney. Counselor Gear.
Yes, so as mentioned, April the 12th is a busy day, apparently. What were those two items earlier in the day, if you don't mind repeating those?
Sure. It was the Hop and Shop downtown and the Easter egg hunt at Patriot Park.
Okay, and then I found out that prom is that night, the 12th. But Arts Council is very excited to present the first big event on the plaza, City Hall Plaza, on Saturday, April the 12th from 5 to 7. This Yacht Rock group is made up of several of the Blackjack Symphony performers, and this is kind of a special event that they do, so we are very excited about it, and we hope that some of those not involved in prom will come and hang out with us, and so please do, and invite your friends. Arts Council, like I said, is very excited about it. And just for a minute to explain about our open seats, we do have one member with a very serious health issues, so just keep that in your thoughts, please. And we have another who has taken a job out of town and is not able to be around for the meetings very much. So we do have a couple of seats open at large, and if any of you know anyone who might be a good fit for the Arts Council, please reach out within the next month and or let me know. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you for that. Counselor Alleman.
Yes, just in the spirit of announcing more events, on April 6th, we'll also have the West Homewood Crawfish Boil. That starts at 3 p.m., so we welcome you all to our side of the tracks. And then and then we'll also, it's following the color run. That should be fun, watching all the kids run at Hall Camp at 2 p.m. So come over to West Homewood and go to the block party for the library. Great institution. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And Mr. Segrist, you're taking notes of all these activities. Can we send a recap of all of the activities? That would be okay. perfect. That would be very helpful, so thank you.
And send to Brian so he can put on our website. There's so much, you know?
That would be.
Oh, he's already got,
because
he's
I've
already
missed-
on it. Of course he is. Brian, of course.
I missed the basketball game.
He's got it.
But anyway, okay, Counselor Wolverton,
Yes, more events.
more events, let's keep adding to the
There
calendar.
are more events. I wanted to, let's see, April 19th, we tentatively have a creek cleanup scheduled from 10 to noon. Kind of a joint effort between basically the community, but HEC, and then hopefully some scout troops and any Sanford students, anybody else that kind of wants to get in on that. HEC is reaching out to some of their contacts there as well. Let's see. I wanted to, Carla's got a couple things for us. Okay. We are also planning to have our Street Safety Day, annual Street Safety Day at Hall Kent and Patriot Park on April 11th. That'll run typically most of the school day from about 8:30 to 2:30 or so. I wanted to invite Mr. Adams to come check that out if you have a chance at some point during that day. It's kind of a joint effort between the police department, the school, and the council to bring awareness to the community at large and the opportunity that we have to have parks close to the schools where people like to come and play after school, and trying to educate students about cars and cars about students and all of those things. So I did not see anything for Public Works right now. So I don't have to set that.
Okay.
What else?
No, I don't see anything.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Okay, great.
So, thank you.
Counselor Sims.
Yes, thank you, President Jones. I just wanted to also mention an activity while we're adding to the calendar, which is the Edgewood Elementary has their Spring Festival on April 12th at 3 p.m. So I just want to make sure that was on the calendar as well. So
From 5 to 7 p.m.
yes, so you really need to set your itinerary for the day. We'll see you at the park. We'll see you at Edgewood. We'll see you, at Soho. If it's all about scheduling, you can do it right, and it'll be like a warm up for We Love Homewood Day in May. So, but no, a lot of great stuff. Just a testament to the great community we're in, and so looking forward to a great calendar in April. I do not have anything for special issues either, I believe, so I will not set special issues. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Counselor Sims. Counselor Brandt?
Nothing. Glad Mr. Kendrick's feeling better. The bionic knee. Good. Everybody file your taxes on time.
That's right. All right. Counselor Smith?
Finance at 5, and I'm not going to add any activities to the calendar, but I want to thank Mr. Smith because since the new playground went in at the Salter Road Pocket Park, man, has it been busy.
Aw.
There have been so many families. Every time I drive by, there is somebody out there on the swing set or playing on and even one of the moms posted on Facebook, please don't take the dirt piles away, because her son was really enjoying playing with his toy dump truck she was like, I'm not sure if it was on purpose or not, but please don't take them away. So it is being enjoyed, and it was a long time coming, but thank you for that. So happy to have it there.
All right, thank you. Counselor Nelms?
So will the dirt get to stay? Can we keep the dirt? No?
No.
I don't think
Okay,
so.
I figured that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Barry.
Counselor Andrews?
I do need to set P&D to follow public safety, so I will do that. I wanted to let everyone know that our very own beloved Jane Reed Ross is receiving a very high honor tomorrow from Stanford University. She's getting the Medallion Award. Anyway, I got to participate in a little video tribute to her, and it's a really big deal. She started at school there, and then Dr. Jim Brown, who was also in the video, who will also be there tomorrow, encouraged her to pursue landscape architecture, which they didn't have. and so she went to Auburn. But Sanford is giving her an award, giving her this tomorrow, so I'm really excited. And send her your best. I wanted to mention that President Jones and I were at the kickoff for the Alabama games, and so that is going to be in Homewood. We will be hosting the table tennis the weekend of June the 13th, 14th, and 15th, but it is going to be countywide, so look for all these kind of Olympic-type sports. And it was really, I thought it was a great kickoff with Senator Smitherman and Senator Wagner. I wanted to give a huge shout out to Glenn Adams for my 2 porta potties that are sitting on the end of the Shades Creek Greenway. I cannot tell you, I literally got a text message sitting here right now from somebody. Oh, I was like, it has been so, and then also to thank Berkeley and Chris for shutting the water fountains on. It is now the winter is over and it is okay for the water fountains to be on, so they are all turned back on again. So the running community is very happy, and thank you so much. Glenn and I took a lovely little stroll on Phase 2 of the Greenway, and I got to show off that beautiful piece of our trail. So enjoyed it very much, and Kale joined us, and so we really appreciate it. So. That's it.
Ms. Andrews, I think you've summed up local government. Thank you for our porta potty. Thank you for our porta potty. It all comes down to that, so.
I told Glenn, somebody commented, I put it in the Birmingham Track Club. We've got like a Saturday morning group run, and it's just hundreds and hundreds of runners that come from all over. And somebody said, this is such a quality of life improvement. And it is, it really is. Like, he's not, for real, right, Barry? So anyway, thank you so much. Andrew, I know you're out there all the time with your kids. We saw, Glenn and I were walking, and there's just mob of moms pushing strollers with little bitty toddlers surrounding them, and we were both like, how many of those kids have already, peed on the side of the trail? So.
All right, bring us home, Mr. Harden.
I do want to thank our new city manager, Mr. Adams. He's come here with a lot of energy and enthusiasm, and seems to really care about our community, and that's important. So we're grateful to have him here. I know we were trying to get a grant for putting a real bathroom. Whatever happened with that?
Well, we did not get it. ADECA,
Never knew what happened.
well, it was really silly, wasn't it, Kale? It was really, really silly. The idea that we didn't get it because they said that they were really, they called it a facility for the soccer field, even though it was really for the trail, and they said they really wanted to focus more on putting trail on the ground. But we're moving forward with finding some capital funds for this project because we've got Berkeley involved now, and there's some storage for Berkeley, and we got the Homewood City Schools because there's a teaching area now, and so it's a nice project, and you will be seeing it. So,
Okay.
yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah,
Exactly,
right.
you will be seeing it.
That's all I have.
Okay. And I'm just going to start this. We've never done this before, but I'm going to ask Mr. Adams if you have any comments.
I didn't come prepared for the
Well, I just thought about it, but come prepared next time.
comments that I had were for the contract and for the
Perfect.
executive assistant, so I'm good with those.
Perfect. That sounds good. And Mr. Wolverton has an additional thing to put
Yeah,
on our
sorry.
calendar.
I know we talked about it, but I totally forgot about the Exceptional Foundation basketball game that wasn't mentioned by anybody yet. Had a great time. We got spanked, I think.
I thought we did better this year than we did the
Yeah,
last time we
it
played
didn't
them.
take very long before people were asking to sub out. So it was a good time had by all. They're some stiff competition.
They are. Oh,
Even with our youth, I think we had a varsity basketball player from the high school come in, and we still couldn't beat
I
him.
wonder which one he is in that picture.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Good
He
grief.
doesn't stand out anywhere.
Yeah, I lost to him playing basketball, I think.
And then I did just want to wish my youngest happy birthday. His birthday was a week ago. He turned 6. So we had a little fun day on the Lakeshore Trail, and we biked down to Duncan. And it was the first time we've gone, I realized, since we broke his arm on the trail about 1.5 years ago with a little accident. So he braved it. He enjoyed it, and we had a great time. So.
All
The
right,
trail now
wonderful.
goes from Duncan to Duncan on both sides.
Oh, I love it, love it. Okay, very good. Well, the only thing I'll just say is I really enjoyed all the comments from the library, all of the why do we love the library, and it's almost like we should we should do that exercise with almost every department. You know, what do you love about the park? You know, what, you know, all the things that we have to offer. Just let people tell us, you know, what their thoughts are. So anyway, I was really happy about that. Welcome, Mr. Adams. I'm looking forward to a long relationship until November. But anyway, it should be fun till then.
You'll be a citizen, you can call him.
I'll be a citizen and I'll call him, that's right. But anyway, thank you for all your participation tonight. And with that, we are adjourned.